as usual, and let me go through the topic. Last time we were on our provinces, and we had discussed about our provinces, province number 1, 2, and so we are going to study province number 4, that is Gandaki province from today. Okay, let's go through the province number 3. As you can see here, I am sharing the screen with you. Province number 3 we have discussed last time. We have understood that province number 3 is a little bit forward in terms of the overall facilities and services. Like one example is hydro project. There are more than 38 national grid projects. Now after province number 3, let's move to our province number 4, known as Gandaki province. As you all know that Gandaki province comprises the districts like Nawalparashi, Tanahu, Lamjung, Gorkha, Kaski, Syangja, Parvat, Baglung, Magdi, Mustang. These are major districts. If you look at all these districts, despite this Nawalparashi East, like Tanahu, Syangja, Parvat, Baglung, Magdi, Kaski, these are hilly districts. Whereas if you look at Gorkha, Lamjung, Manang, Mustang, mostly these are mountainous district. Okay, so it comprises all three features, that is the mountain, then hill and tarai. Okay, so let's go to the brief description. As you can see here, the Chief Minister of Gandaki Province, Prithvi Subba Gurung from Nepal Communist Party. Okay, let's understand in brief about Gandaki Pradesh. Lying between China in the north and Province 5 in the south, the province is very rich for lakes, that is water resources, as well as apart from lakes, it is very rich in the biodiversity, the diverse landscapes. Among them, Phewa, Rupa, Begnas, Khaste, Dipang, and Tilicho are notable. That is, these are important lakes of province number 4. The province is drained by the tributaries of the river called as Sapta Gandaki, which includes 7 Gandaki rivers. Okay, Kali Gandaki, Budi Gandaki, Sheti Gandaki, Marsangvi, Madi, Dharaudi, and Seti. Therefore, this province holds good potentiality of hydroelectricity generation. That means this region is very forward in hydroelectricity generation. That is the possibility of this province number 4, Gandaki province. With existing 29 hydroelectricity projects, that means more than 29 hydroelectricity projects currently are actually in province number 4, Gandaki Pradesh. The beautiful peaks like Annapurna Falls, Dhaulagiri, Manaslu, Himalchuli, and Machapuchre. Like the highest is, you all know here, like Dhaulagiri, Annapurna, and Manaslu, 8,800, sorry, 176, 8,091 meter, 8,163. These are top peak of this region. These add additional glory to the province. That means mountainous region, especially the peaks from province number 4, Gandaki Pradesh, they beautify this region. And the people in this province are mainly involved in agricultural sector. Apart from agriculture, many people are engaged in tourist or tourism sector, tourism industry. But you all know that because of the current COVID-19 outbreak, as we all are in lockdown situation, the tourism in this region is also very shattered by the COVID-19 outbreak. Service and foreign employment are another sector in which most of the people are also busy. Like service, that is government, army, Indian Army, British Army, and education sector, health sector, whereas foreign employment, as you all know, is common, side job of province number 4 as well. This province collect the highest remittance in Nepal. This region, province number 4, is the highest remittance earner in whole Nepal. That means more people from Gandaki Pradesh are in working foreign country as a foreign employee. The province is very rich for tourism with sufficient attraction for mountaineering, trekking, rafting and paragliding. In this region is very popular for adventurous tourism. All these activities which are listed above like mountaineering, trekking, rafting and paragliding are actually the adventurous tourism. So Gandaki Pradesh is very rich, or you can say this has higher potentiality of adventurous tourism. Tourists visit Annapurna Conservation Area. There is a project, Annapurna Conservation Area project, a CAP, which is one of the major destination for trekking site. Ghalegaon, another trekking site. Bandipur, another trekking site, tourist destination. Upper Mustang, which is very mystic type of area, Upper Mustang of Tibetan culture. Kagbeni in Mustang, Dhorpatan, hunting reserve area, and Pokhara Valley. With the concept of ecotourism, that means this area is very rich in point of view of ecotourism, that is tourism linked with the environment, the surrounding ecosystem, research, and other activities. The Himalayan valleys, also known as cold deserts like the Manang and Mustang, have been attracting more tourists nowadays. So that means Manang and Mustang, also known as the outer valleys or Himalayan valleys, are one of the power point of Gandaki Pradesh. The province has good prospects of development with the best utilization of the perennial rivers like the Saptagandaki and sufficient lakes. And apart from these tourist activities or activities related to the tourist arrival, hotel, restaurant, service sectors, uh, ecotourism or adventurous tourism. This region is also very important from religious point of view. As you all know, there is a Muktinath, Mukti Dham. Mukti Dham is one of the four Char Dham of Nepal, which is very famous. So that means this province number 4 is actually very forward and has higher chance or possibility of development. Just we need to have stable government, proper infrastructures, and present time the scenario that is COVID-19 outbreak should be under control. Then tourism can be flourished in this area and we can get benefit. Okay, that's about province number 4, first phase. Now, before heading to our province number 5, let's talk about some problem of province number 4 or Gandaki Pradesh. The problem of this region is that many people from Mustang, Manang, Gorkha or Lomjung or Tanahu or Sangja, whatever all these places, all they have a one tendency, that is migration toward Kaski. Okay, Kaski, especially Pokhara Valley, migration. So uncontrolled migration is one problem. Okay, next one is if you look at the Himalayan region like Lomjung, Gorkha, Manang, Mustang, transportation is very difficult. If you have been to the Baglung or Magdi, transportation is also difficult in this region. And next one is migration from actually all this region to the Tarais area, province number 5. Here we are going to discuss province number 5 is one of the major problem. And the next problem is foreign employment. As many people, young, enthusiastic, and the people they are in search of job or meet in job, they are going for foreign country, and many are busy in Indian market from this Tarai belt. So these are some of the problems that we need to tackle. Okay, so let's move forward and let's go to the province number 5. Okay, and let me stop here before going to the province number 5. Let me take your feedback. Okay, let me ask here, Mr. Sudin, did you understand the concept?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you tell two important PowerPoint of province number 4, Gandaki Pradesh.
Two important things.
PowerPoint, that
Sir,
means the possibility of development.
so I didn't understand.
Possibility of development. 2 PowerPoint.
No idea, sir.
No idea. Okay, Mr. Sandesh, can you tell 2 PowerPoint possibility of development in province number 4? Tourism and agriculture. Okay, the PowerPoint is first tourism. Next one is hydro. Yeah, electricity generation. Okay, let me ask you, Sanjeevani. I'm not asking
Yes,
any
sir.
question. May I get any confusion, curiosity, or any questions from you regarding province number 4? No.
No, sir.
Okay, then I hope you are understanding the point. Let's continue. Let me go through the screen. Province number 5 comprises, you all know, Rukum, Rolpa, Piuthan, Gulmi, Argakhachi, Palpa, Rupandehi, Navalparasi, Kapilvastu, Dang, Banke, Bardia. If you look at here, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These are the districts. And if you look at the composition here, Rukum, Rolpa, these are slightly in hilly area. There are no mountainous region here. Bardia, Bake, Dang, Kapilvastu, Rupandi, Nalparasi, all these are from the Tarai belt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 districts are from Tarai and rest of are from the hills. Okay, that's the composition of this Pradesh number 5 or Pradesh number 5. And the naming is not, final. So we have to say Pradesh number 5 or Pradesh number 5. Let's go to the short description. As you can see here, Mr. Shankar Pokhrel, Chief Minister of Province number 5 is Shankar Pokhrel, again from a political figure from the Nepal Communist Party. Now, let's understand in brief about the Province number 5 major features. The Province number 5 is bordered by India in the south and Province number 4, 7 and 6 in the east. Okay, let me go to the map here. Here you can see in this direction, that is eastern side, you can see here is province number 4. This side, eastern side, province number 3. Yeah, 4 and 3. And this direction, province number 6, and this direction, province number 7. Okay, 7 and 6 in the east and west and north respectively, though composed of the mixed population. The southern part is mainly inhabited by Madhesi communities, means overall population composition of province number 5 is mixed, diverse population. But in the southern part, that is Tarai area, the major inhabitant people are Madhesi origin. Okay, that means the district like Bardia, Bake, Dang, Kapilvastu, Rupandei, Navalparasi, these districts are inhabited by the Madhesi origin people. Like if you look at the Banke, this has the largest mosque in whole Nepal. Means there are more Muslims. Okay, and if you look at the Dang, mixed population. Kapilvastu, Madhesi, like the Tharu are also here. Others are also here, and many other ethnic communities of the Tarai are in this area. So population is mixed, and major people are Madhesi communities. The caste and ethnic groups found in majority include Magar, Tharu, Brahmin, Kshetri. As we forgot to discuss in province number 4, the major caste group in province number 4 are actually Gurung, Magar, and Brahmin Kshetri. Whereas here, the major caste group is Magar, Tharu, Brahmin, Kshetri in hilly area. The province is drained by some famous rivers like Karnali, Beri, Rapti, Tinau, Babai. These are the major rivers. The lakes are like Satyavati, Baharakune, Bodyguard. The glorious irrigation projects like Sikta irrigation project, Babai or Babai, Banaganga irrigation project, Tinau irrigation project have benefited a lot for agricultural yield in this province. And especially these are available in Tarai area, Bake Bardia, Kapilvastu, Rupandehi, Navalparashi. Okay, the cultural universities like the Sanskrit and Lumbini Bauddha Vishwavidyalaya are promoting Oriental culture, means Eastern culture in province number 5. Like if you uh, know, I think you know, Bhutan, Arghati, Gulmi are supposed to be the center of Oriental culture in this region. Bhutan, okay? Like there is a one place called Sorgadwari. There is one Sanskrit, you know, school now known as Parshala, now going to be universities. Universities are under, construction. So that means this region, province number 5, especially the hilly region, they are going to observe the possibility of, you can see, universities like the Sanskrit and the Lumbini Bauddha Vishwavidyalaya in Lumbini. Okay, the availability of abundant natural resources can serve positively in the development of this province. And the natural resources like the water resource, land, and herbs are very important in this region. And many of you, I think, know that the Patanjali Yogpit in India, their Acharya, Balkrishna Acharya, okay, he was also actually from Nepal and this region, Bhutan, Sangha, that region. Sangha is in another province, but for Bhutan and Sangha, this area. So it is very rich in the horse as well as, you can say Oriental culture, we can say Vedic culture. Now talking about the problems that people in province number 5 faces are commonly the flood, landslide, lack of easy transportation, lack of market, lack of, you can say indigenous job. Like employment is also very problematic here, this region. If you look at the population composition, province number 5, you know, actually the province number 5 and province number, we are going to study now 6, has the highest out migration. That is, more people are going out from these two provinces, 5 and 6, to province number 4, 3, or Indian, market. So migration is another problem. Now, after province number 5, let's move to our province number 6. And province number 6 comprises, as you can see, the picture may be a little bit blurred here, like Humla, Mugu, Jumla, Kalikot, Dailek, Jadarkot, Rukum West, Rukum Pasim, okay, Dolpa, Salyan, Surkhe. And this region was quite, in the hot zone just last month, and it was because of this area, Rukum West. In this region, there was a murder episode. Navrat Bikar and their friends were cruelly killed in this region. That means this province number 6 is a little bit backward. As you can see, backward in the sense of, their overall population composition, social structure, their relation, employment, education, health, and most importantly, psychology. Even today, nowadays, as you can see, people are, you know, uh, badly beaten or even killed in the name of caste. So that's the problem here. Let's look at in brief. The chief minister of this province number 6 is Mahendra Bahadur Shahi. And province number 6 now is known as Karnali Pradesh, Karnali Pranta, Karnali Pradesh. Standing at the biggest in size, the province lies in the mid-western part of Nepal, previous mid-western part, without touching the plain Tarai. Means it has no Tarai districts. It borders with province number 7 in the west, province number 5 in the south, and east a part of province number 4 in the east, and China in the north. That's the location you can see in the map. The province is the poorest among other. That means the per capita income is very low in this region. Overall SDI, Human Development Index, is very low in this region and is developmentally challenged due to complex topography. Topography means most of the region are hilly area, mountainous area, and rocky type of landform and less fertile land. And the climate is also harsh climate, which is generally cold and dry. Because of this, these Pradesh, Karnali Pradesh had remained backward and today also it is backward. Okay, the major inhabitants here are Thakuri, Khetri, Brahmin, Dalit, Bhote, and many other ethnic communities. Mount Kanjirova, 6,612, Mount Kanti, 6,859, Mount Gorak, 6,880, sorry, 6,088, and Mount Changal, that is 6,563, are the major peaks of this province. And if you look at the composition here, you can Mount Kanti is the highest, but the peaks are less than 7,000 meter in the height. So mountains are not so much tall. Besides religious sites and mountain peaks, other touristic attractions of the province include Lake Rara. Rara is also known as the Mahendra Lake, the biggest lake in Nepal. Rara, which is one of the attraction for tourists. Lake She Phoksundo, Bulbule Tal are also attraction for tourists. So you can see point number one is the major attraction or development possibility in this region is tourism. But tourism at present time, current situation is in province number Karnali not so forward, very backward. Like if you go to the Rara, as many tourists have complained, there are no even basic structure like a small hotel, restaurant, free Wi-Fi like that. No transportation. Transport to Rara is very difficult. One has to travel from Nepalganj by plane. That's very, you know, expensive actually. The rivers flowing here are Tila, Thuliberi, Shaniberi, Humla, Karnali. This is Karnali, okay? It's a little problem. Karnali, L is missing here. Mugu, Karnali, etc. So these are the major tributaries. Besides Humla and Dolpa, all other districts have access to roads, but they are very narrow. Roads are also available here, but they are very narrow. Like for example, if you look at the map of here from Surkhet, here is one narrow stretch going to the Tarai, Nepalganj, Nepalganj to Surkhet, one highway known as the Kanti or Kanta highway, and from here Surkhet to Doilek, Doilek to Kalikot, Kalikot to Jumla, Manma Bazar, Mugu, you know, and this region, and from Jumla to Mugu, Mugu to Umla. This is known as Karnali Highway. Karnali Highway is one of the risky highway, very narrow highway, and there are more occasions or incidents of accidents. More people died last year as well because of the risky road network known as Karnali Highway. And some of the journalists claim that Karnali Highway is known as the highway to hell. That is Narkazane Bato, as many people died because of the accident. Surkhet, Dunai, Simikot, and Jumla. This is Jumla. Okay, Jumla have been serving through air transportation right now. Air transportation is also available, but as I already mentioned, air transportation is not so much reliable. It is risky plus it is expensive. The province is fertile for fruits like apple, orange, pomegranate, walnut, asagumba, which is very important herbs. The crop known as Jumli Marsi, you all know it became very popular. That's why I included here. The crop known as Jumli Marsi, that is the rice, is very popular breed of paddy produced in Jumla, which was very popular because the leaders like Mr. Prasanda and that some Nepal Communist Party leaders, they were consuming, even Seva, they were eating this. That is a local product from the like Jumla. There are big grasslands useful for cattle rearing and hops. That means, so let's talk about possibility of Karnali Pradesh. Possibility number one is tourism, like the Rara, Sefusura National Park area. Possibility number two is the hops, like Asagumba. Third, the agricultural yields like the fruits are some of the possible activities. So here government should launch some specific programs for this province. Now province number 7. And talking about problem in province number 6, the most problem is transport. Second problem is lack of education services, health services, and next one is again the backwardness of this region, psychological backwardness. People are very caste oriented, very traditional. They should be forward by modern thought. Now, province number 7 includes here Darchula, Baiteri, Bajang, Bajura, Acham, Doti, Kailali, Kanchanpur, Dadaldhura. And I have not included here the region, this disputed area. Anyway, it is as at present claimed by Nepal government. Chief Minister is Tirlochan Bhatta. Okay, Tirlochan Bhatta. Now let's look at some of the specific features of Sudur Paschim. The province is located in the westernmost part of Nepal, comprising the complete portion of the previous far western development region. Its borders are the river Karnali and Karnali Pradesh in the east, the river Mahakali and India in the west, and south and China in the north. It is the second smallest province of Nepal, second smallest as it is compared with area, okay, size, but has very good potentiality of external trade because province number 7, as you can see here, Darchula, Baiteri, Daladura, Kanchanpur. These are Indian border side, Uttarakhand. This side also Uttarakhand plus here this side Uttar Pradesh. So there is more connection to the Indian market. That's why it is very easy for potentially for external trade. Mount Opi 7,142 meter, Mount Saipal 7,025 meter, Mount Yuk Pahar 6,644 meter, Mount Lhasa, Lake Khaptar and Lake Ghodagadi or Godagadi stand as the glories of the province number 7, Sudur Paschim province. Sudur Paschim को पहिचान, okay, that is tourism, पर्यटन र पर्यावरण भन्छ के पर्यटन एन्ड पर्यावरण, the पहिचान of Sudur Paschim, identity of far western development region. For example, Khaptar area derived by the Swami Khaptar, Khaptar Baba. He came and got a penance in this region from India because he claimed that this region, like a Patan region of Sudur Paschim, is like a heaven. के भनिन्छ भने खप्तर नेसनल पार्क एरियाभित्र पर्ने पाटन भन्ने छ त्यो एरिया चाहिँ स्वर्गको टुक्रा हो. Very beautiful location. If you have seen last week photo from Daladhura, you can see in the online portal also. Many people commented in Instagram also that it is one of the heaven. So it is very rich actually in natural setting, that photographic beautiful scenario. Brahmin, Thakuri, Chetri, Tharu are the main inhabitants in Sudur Paschim. The province is remote and developmentally challenged because there is only one major highway. That highway passes from this area, Kanchanpur to Daladhura to Baiteri and Bajang, Darchula. Okay, so highway, national highway is rare. One highway which is not so much actually well established. There is narrow strip of road, so it is very difficult to have a easy transport in this region. About 44% of people in the hills and 49% are in the Himalayan districts live below the poverty line in this Sudur Paschim. Okay, and it is expected that the ratio is around 40 right now. This 40 around and this is around 35. Anyway, the extreme poverty is one of the problem in Sudur Paschim. That's why many people are migrating from this area to other area. The province has limited access to basic services like the health, drinking water, and has complex socio-economic structures like caste-oriented system. There are both widespread gender and caste-based discrimination in this region. Many evil practices such as dowry, Chaupadi are badly rooted in the society. People mainly go to India for seasonal employment. Despite such hazards, this province holds a very big prospect for development, like tourism development and herbal, you can say extraction or mountaineering or trekking. Just we need a stable, policy. Okay, that's the overall basic introduction of our province. And from this lesson, you are asked actually the simple questions like the main feature of province number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or anyone. Okay, that's all. Now let me get your feedback. Any questions, confusion, or curiosities? Do you have any question, confusion? No? Then please note down this is your yes.
Tundra vegetation भनेको कस्तो vegetation हो?
Tundra is like the grasses, mosses available in the higher hills and mountain. Higher hill र mountain मा पाउने सानो किसिमको घाँसहरू के tundra है. Okay, let me share the screen here and you can note down. Please try to do this as homework.